The Freak Athlete ABX bench already has a ton of reviews, but you don't want opinions, you want answers.
I want the truth!
Today, you're getting the truth, the good, the bad, and whether this alleged 10-in-1 adjustable bench lives up to the hype. The No Fade channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and when I first heard that Freak Athlete was putting out, teasing an ABX 10-in-1 adjustable bench, well, let's just say I had skeptical hippo eyes. But I've been putting this thing through real workouts for well over a month now, and I gotta admit, there's a lot to like about this bench. First and foremost, every year there seems to be a new hype piece when it comes to the home gym community, something that is now the new must-have, and we see a ton of companies either trying to put it into their current equipment or trying to rush through new pieces of equipment that have that accessory. Last year it was the Smith machine, and this year it is an articulating headrest. I typically shy away from the new bells and whistles when it comes to existing pieces of tried and true gym equipment like an adjustable bench. But this articulating headrest is not only convenient, it is fun. And that is the name of the game when you're trying to work out in your home gym. Here's how it works. You can set this up like a normal adjustable bench. They're tried and true meat and potatoes. But let's say you want to do overhead press and you really want to have that range of motion. Boom, you've got that with putting this all the way down, out of sight, out of mind. You can also do overhead dumbbell extensions for those triceps. Now let's say you want to do some seal rows. People love those for your back attack. You can put that into a seal row position, and you've got 4 options in terms of where you can adjust this headrest initially. But because you can also adjust the seat itself, you really do have a number of great exercise options. And there are tons of DIY people that are creating new exercises, new variants when it comes to how to utilize an adjustable headrest. And I think, and personally, that it's gonna be something that many of you buying a new adjustable bench are gonna consider, are gonna be interested in, and will probably want to get. If you already have an existing adjustable bench that's working for you, by no means do I think you need to throw that one out and get something that has this feature. But again, as we move forward, 2026, 2027, etc., you're gonna see more benches have this feature and more people expect it. The reality is though, even though you can do dozens of different convoluted exercises with this setup, you're probably gonna have your 2 or 3 favorites, and you're gonna just do those often, and once in a while you'll throw in like a different variation of some exercise just to say you did. But when you get something like this, you initially think you're gonna use it for like 15, 20 different types of exercises, and it's only gonna be 2 or 3. For me, I love doing the front-facing rows with my cable machine, and I love doing overhead dumbbell press without having this piece in the way. You know, on this channel, we don't get pulled in by the bells and whistles. We care about if this is gonna operate as it is expected. Is it gonna check off the boxes as an adjustable bench? And it does. You get a nice firm pad on the inside, also on the edge. It doesn't just slop down. A nice firmness on the edge. Really that sweet spot, not super, super hard, but not soft at all. Just kind of like that Goldilocks zone, that bullseye that so many people are looking for. As far as the pad itself, it is ultra grippy. Do I think it's the best of the best? It's close. It is certainly up there and competitive with the likes of Rep and Rogue. They're doing some good stuff with the materials that Freak Athlete is using. And it doesn't stop there. This bench has a lot of really nice touches. Of course, you've got vertical storage, which is a must these days. You also get knurling on the front handle. You get knurling on the side handle. You get cowls over the wheels. You get tons of angle options, both on the backrest as well as on the front pad. This comes with a front leg design, meaning if you like to pull your feet in when you're benching or just exercising in general, you're not gonna be impacted by the front of this bench, but it's not gonna slide around on you. You get high friction pads underneath this bench on the front as well as the back. And there's a nice bonus feature because you're gonna keep your actual metal off the ground from absorbing extra moisture, keeping it lasting longer, or some would even say forever. You get a closed ladder system and you get a dual tone white and black color. You get a beautiful pop pin for the front that's just like a chef's kiss. Many of you are concerned about the gap. You know what I'm talking about, no man's land that your butt always seems to find when you're benching, and it just kind of throws you off your game. Well, I can't say that the Freak Athlete has a zero gap, because I think that was actually like trade named by Rep Fitness. I mean, good for them in terms of marketing, but shame for everybody else. However, this does have a true zero gap. It literally moves as you adjust the bench. So there is no gap whatsoever. And unlike some of the other zero gaps that I have reviewed that are pretty clunky, they take a number of different angle options to adjust in terms of getting everything lined up. This is so seamless, it's not even funny. You adjust the backrest, and then you use this beautiful chef's kiss pop pin to just move up the bottom pad as needed. Before I dive into all the attachments you can get with this thing, let's talk about some of the nice to haves, and that is you get a 30-day no questions asked return policy, and Freak Athlete's customer service is bar none. They're very, very good. So when they say 30-day, no questions asked, they mean it. They know no one's gonna return it because their stuff is that good. You also get a lifetime warranty, and I love when companies do that. Freak Athlete, they've been around now for a while, they're not going anywhere, and they are not afraid to throw a lifetime warranty on something that they put their name behind. Now, the big claim to fame on this adjustable bench, besides all of the great features I've already mentioned, is the attachments. In a home gym, unlike what you see online, on the TikTok, on the Instagram, most people have exceptionally small home gyms. I mean, what I have down here in this small space is considered large by most people's standards. A lot of you are working out in a corner of a bedroom. Most of you even are trying to store your home gym equipment in a closet, and you've got to pull it all out in order to use it. Some of you got it in the corner of a garage, and you've got to pull your car in every night. So it's very, very minimal in terms of the space you have, and it is exceptionally precious. So when you buy a piece of equipment, you want it to do multiple things upon multiple things. Number one, they put a leg attachment. So you can do leg extensions and leg curls. And I've used it. It works pretty good. As far as using it with plates, I will say that your legs and knees are pulled very far back, which is nice. Most people want that stretch in their quad. The pad is dense. It's got the good material that we already talked about, and it just feels good. As far as just putting on weights, I did have to use bands in order to get a more natural resistance curve, but that is something I do almost uniformly across leg extension plate-loaded machines. For an additional cost, and we will talk about cost of everything later in today's video, you can get yourself their specialized cable system attachment. Essentially, it allows you to connect their leg extension and leg curl to any adjustable cable machine you might have, or even a Voltra, allowing you to have uniform resistance throughout the exercise. And it feels really good. I think that for most people who get that leg extension, if you have a cable machine in your home gym, you're gonna wanna pay the extra money for that. But their attachments don't stop there. For those of you that love incorporating dips into your tricep to build up that chest, build those horseshoe triceps, they've got this dip attachment for $80. And it's solid. It goes in quick and easy. It works. It's got grippy handles on the front. And if you do dips regularly, this is just a no-brainer. Now, one of the nice features that makes these attachments in general quick and easy to install is the fact that they have laser cutout placeholders so that you know right where this needs to be in terms of the leg developer, as far as the dip machine, and so on and so forth. Now, I actually think this thing is pretty solid, but if I had to make suggestions on what I wish they did, I wish they did two things. Number one, instead of this grippy rubber, just put knurling. We all love knurling. No one ever complained about too much knurling. And I wish they tapered. Currently, there's only one width, so hopefully it fits your body. But if you're bigger or smaller, you might want to have your hands closer together, further apart. And it would be nice if they had it like tapered out, even almost like a V formation, because ducks fly together. But overall, I think if they did make those changes to it, we're looking at a much higher price tag. Probably the attachment that so many people sleep on is this bad boy right here. For those of you that love decline sit-ups, or you want to just roll this thing and flip it over, and now you've got yourself a Nordic curl bench, this thing is fantastic. It does come in at $120, and again, we'll be talking about cost later in today's video. Now the bicep attachment that Freak Athlete sells for $200. It's fun. I mean, if you just enjoy your home gym as a hobby, it's just something fun to have. There's a few different exercises on it. You're predominantly going to be using it for preacher curls and for incline dumbbell bicep curls in terms of making sure that you're locking out your upper arm and you're not cheating. Now, I've got nothing bad to say about it. As I mentioned, it is just one of those toys that us home gym kids like to play with. But for $200, it seems a little expensive. Not because it's not designed well, or it's not worth that price in terms of the materials that they're using, but you're really only going to be utilizing it for preacher curls. And if you really needed to do preacher curls, which I love, you can just buy a $20 arm blaster off of Amazon and go to town. The Freak Athlete engineers, they're on another level. They're like the Terminator. They don't sleep, they don't compromise. All they do 24/7, 365 is work on ways of improving and adding to their existing pieces of equipment. So don't be surprised if you see additional attachments come out for this bench in the next year or two. Now, most reviewers would stop right there, telling you everything they loved about the Freak Athlete ABX bench and directing you to their affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. But you came here for the truth. And there is no one on this planet that loves and utilizes Freak Athlete equipment more than me that is tougher when it comes to critiquing their products. So let's start off with the cons, the negatives. Now, most of these are not deal breakers, but I need you to go in to this purchase with your eyes wide open. Number one, we're going to start smallest to biggest, is of course this doesn't do decline. And I have told people time and time again that decline on a bench is rather useless and massively overrated. But if you happen to be the few 1% that actually does decline bench press, you can't with this bench. Number two are the sheath covers for the wheels. They look nice, they're aesthetic, they're a beautiful touch. But the design of them is that if you have this at too steep of an angle, because you're on the taller side like I am, when you pick it up, if it's at too steep of an angle, when you go to roll it, those sheath covers are gonna almost act as stoppers. They're gonna catch on your horse stall mats or whatever you've got for flooring, and you're gonna have to like lower the angle to engage the wheels. It's one of those things, like I've had the problem a few times, and now that I know about it, I just don't pick it up as high. But when my kid moves this thing around, it's not an issue whatsoever because he's like a foot shorter than I am. Another problem that I have, and probably no one else will, has to do with the color options. I'm a big believer that people in their home gym, they wanna buy something that kind of matches their color scheme. And you can only get this in one color. You can get this with the black and the white rails, and that's beautiful. It looks great. But for some of you who have like an entirely blue home gym, that might be something that throws off your feng shui. Now, the main thing that no other content creator ever talks about, they act like it just doesn't exist, that this problem is something that no one ever has. But if you have a small home gym, and that's predominantly the reason you would buy a bench with all those great attachments, is that you need to know where to store them. It doesn't seem like much, but if you got all four of the beautiful attachments that Freak Athlete sells, you better know where you're gonna put them, because this isn't gonna fit on your wall control. There's very few shelves that this thing is gonna sit on cleanly as well. Even something like this dip attachment, which you could put on a wall control, is going to stick out a little bit. So again, you need to know where you're gonna put these attachments, because if you don't, they're gonna be littered across your floor, and it's gonna make your small home gym even smaller. 3 complaints when it comes to the leg developer. Number one, we just talked about it, and that is it's the biggest of all the attachments, and it's gonna be the hardest to store. You're gonna have to store it on your floor somewhere, probably against your wall, to keep it out of the way, but it's still gonna have a pretty good footprint, all things considered. Now, another thing that people don't consider, aside from where they're gonna store the leg developer, is how long and cumbersome it's eventually gonna be, because you're taking your existing bench, you're adding a good size attachment to it, and boom, you have a pretty long piece of equipment that's gonna be a little bit difficult to move around your home gym, especially if you've got a tight home gym. Now, you add the leg cable to connect it to a selectorized piece of equipment, and that's gonna make it even more difficult to kind of get everything lined up and get it into position. It's just one of those things that if you've got plenty of space in your home gym, it's probably not even gonna be a second thought. But if you've got a tight home gym space, man, oh man, you gotta put some thought into it before you hit that buy it now button. Link's in the description. And the major issue, the biggest of the big, the one that's going to have you spitting out that energy drink you're sipping on right now, is the one we've hinted at all video long, and that is the cost. Now, as far as this awesome bench, it's great. I love it. It's really like a Goldilocks zone of adjustable benches, and you get this zero gap, non-zero gap, zero gap that's just so easy to use. But this bench comes in at $600. That's right, US dollars. That's $600, and that puts it in very rarefied air. To put that into perspective, the Rep Fitness AB5200, which is a monster of a bench, comes in at $550. And you're looking at Rogue's benches, their adjustable bench, which has gotten tons of great praise, is coming in at $600 as well. So you've got some pretty high price tags. And if you look at, say, something a little bit, maybe a tier down, you've got the RitFit Gator that has the adjustable headrest that a lot of people are wanting this year. That comes in, I think, at $320 delivered for free. Yeah, and we know free shipping is never free. It is baked into the price. But when I drop $600 and I go to check out, the last thing I want to see is a shipping charge. Now, my main argument when it comes to that shipping charge is that good companies should be able to kind of bake that price of shipping into their cost or have a certain threshold. Say the bench is $600, but if you spend $650 on any purchase, you get free shipping, because no one really wants to drop a whole bunch of money and then drop even more money at checkout for shipping. It's just kind of like a kick in the butt. Now, Freak Athlete does what so many other companies do. They get that price high, and then they throw deals, they throw coupons, they throw amazing birthday deals, 4th of July deals, Happy Friday deals, Good Friday deals, Sad Friday deals. So there's always some type of sale that will bring that price down, but it is still, even with like a sale, when you factor in shipping, a pretty high price tag. On top of that, the attachments add up quite quickly. Currently, if I go online, they're having, you guessed it, a sale. If you buy like 3 attachments, you get a 4th one free, or if you buy 2 attachments, you get a 3rd one free. Whatever the lowest cost attachment you buy is the one that you get free. So I was just doing some math, and so you could save, if you bought 2, you could save like $120 on the leg holder roller that you can use for decline sit-ups. So you can save money by buying in bulk and rocking their sales, but it is still wildly expensive. And if you end up buying this bench and you buy all 4 of the attachments, that is a bill that could choke a horse. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts when it comes to the ABX adjustable bench from Freak Athlete. And the truth is, when I first heard and saw that they're gonna have some type of entire ecosystem of attachments to go with their adjustable bench, I mean, I rolled my eyes and I kind of got a little bit snobby about it, because I always think of, if you've got a big enough space, you just buy separate pieces of equipment or separate items that allow you to kind of almost have stations, so that you can go from like your adjustable bench to your dips to your leg extensions and leg curls. But the more I thought about it and the more I actually got to use this, I realized that, again, most people having a home gym, maybe not the who's who of the home gym community, maybe not Coop and Gluck and Brandon and all the other great content creators that have these massive spaces, but most people, the silent majority, don't have a lot of space. They're working out in closets, they're working out in one-room apartments. Some of them have like a New York apartment that's really just like a glorified walk-in closet. Then they're trying to get their workouts in just like you and I are, and it's just a real battle because space is always an issue. And when it comes to having a really small space, having those extra attachments matter. They can add a ton of functionality and not take up any extra space aside from having to store them. I think the cost factor on this bench does make you do a double take. And let's face it, if you use my affiliate links in the description, I think that that would be great because it will help me out. And I certainly think that this is a phenomenal bench. I'm not going to be blind like a lot of other content creators are, that when you buy this and you buy all the parts to it, you're looking at $1,000 when this thing gets shipped, if not more. So it's just kind of crazy. I mean, the leg developer by itself is $400. And then if you actually wanted to connect it to a selectorized weight stack, which why wouldn't you? It's another $50 for like a piece of metal and a cable. And I love their designs. I love love what they're doing, but it's that the prices are just so high. And I know I'm a broken record, I'm an old man, I probably say that on every video that the prices are too high, but if you want to utilize this adjustable bench and you want to market this adjustable bench, I think to your audience, I think you've got to give them a reason to buy the attachments. Whether the price of the bench is high, but the attachment prices are a bit more reasonable, fine, or the price of the bench is a little lower, and then you keep the price of the attachments a little bit higher. And the nice thing about having attachments is that you don't have to buy them all. If you don't do dips in your workout, you skip that one. And there is something to be said for that Freak Athlete 30-day return policy that gives you the incentive to buy something without having any fear that it's going to be a dud. And the fact that they throw in a lifetime warranty on this thing, and they've been known to stand by all their equipment thus far, and they've been around for long enough that you realize they're going to be there when it counts if there's an issue, does go a long way. And I think for people with small home gyms that are looking to utilize them to the fullest, but they are limited on space, this is going to be something you consider. The zero gap feature and that articulating headrest are really nice touches, along with a lot of other small touches that kind of show the high-end design features that they've incorporated. You got to find out what's right for you, and this ABX bench is going to be right for a lot of you, and it's just not going to be for some of you. So take that all into consideration, use my affiliate links, and if you want to see more great adjustable bench videos, then check these two out. As usual, if you made it this far in the video, you and I are best friends. Thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.